Hello! This is Thunderboots, and here's another guide how to make some damage with your class. This time I'm getting into Warlock, and at the moment the best spec for Warlock is Destruction. And let's get to the stat priority first. So the first and the best stat for Warlocks, particularly Destruction Warlock, is Multi-Strike. Second, Critical Strike. Third, Mastery. Fourth, Intellect. And in the last spot is Versatility and Haste. And that's for the stats. And let's get into the talents. In the first tier, there's one clear choice, which is Soul Leech. It will give you a little shield when you use Incinerate, Shadow Burn, and Chaos Ball. So that is increased to your survivability, and therefore it is the best. On the tier 2, there's 3 choices which are dependent on things you are doing, raid encounter and whatnot. There's an AoE stun, AoE fear, and then there's a single target fear which gives you health when you use it. So therefore it's an default choice when you're facing a single target boss. You can get some health back when you use these. So that's the one I'm rocking with. In here, in the tier 3, there's several choices as well, and I'm using Grimoire of Sacrifice here, so I've gone with the Sacrificial Pact, which gives me a hectic shield when I sacrifice some of my health. And there's 2 other choices. Soul Link, this is really good as well. Reduces 20% of all damage is split between you and your team and pet, and the 3% of damage you deal heals you and your demon. So this is pretty awesome choice as well. But since I'm going with Grimoire of Sacrifice, I think this is the best choice for me right now. In tier 4, there's Burning Rush, Blood Horror, and Unbound Will. For me personally, I think being able to move fast in many situations is the best solution. So therefore that's pretty much a default choice. Alright, in the 5th tier, there's several options. Grimoire of Supremacy, Grimoire of Service, and Grimoire of Sacrifice. If you use Grimoire of Supremacy, this skill will replace your pets with little better ones, and this is pretty handy and good talent. And Grimoire of Service instantly summons a second demon which fights for 20 seconds. AoE wise, these are all pretty close to each other. Grimoire of Sacrifice, for me, I think it's best choice for single target damage. Grimoire of Sacrifice, sacrifice your demon to gain one of its abilities and to increase the damage of your Incinerate, Chaos Ball, and Shadow Burn by 20%. But no, does not apply to spells affected by fire and brimstone. Also causes you to regenerate 2% of maximum health every 8 seconds. So this is a boost for single target damage, but when you're using your fire and brimstone, which makes your basic skills as a more like AoE skills, it doesn't affect your AoE damage at all. So yeah, if you're going for a single target damage, then this is probably a best choice, but it doesn't affect your AoE skills. So yeah, you should go with the one that you feel like is best for the situation or thing you're doing or raid encounter. But for single target, Grimoire of Sacrifice is best in my opinion. Alright, in the 6th tier there's Archimon's Darkness, Kil'jaeden's Cunning, Manar's Fury, and if the encounter requires movement, Kil'jaeden's Cunning is the best. You can cast shit while you're moving, so I've gone with that. But again, this is a tier where you can have so good choices depending on encounter or situation. So, but yeah, this is my talent build and seems to be working pretty well for me. So let's get to the glyphs. And here for Warlocks there are several different choices, and I've chosen to go with the survival ability, so I've gone with Glyph for Siphon Life, which gives me 0.35% health back when my Immolate does periodic damage. Second one is Glyph of Hellstone. You receive 100% more healing from using a Hellstone, but the health is restored over 10 seconds. So you could consider this a defensive cooldown instead of pot or whatever, and I think it's pretty handy. And my third major glyph is Glyph of Eternal Resolve. Unending Resolve can no longer be activated, but passively provides 10% damage reduction from all sources. So it takes away one defensive skill and makes it a passive, and 10% reduced damage from everything. So I think that's very good in every situation. So one of your basic primary things in every encounter is to survive, and this is a clear boost to that, so that's what I'm going with. And obviously the monoclips don't really matter, but I've gone with the Nightmares. For example, in VOD when you can't fly, and there will be a lot of places where there's water and whatnot, it helps to, especially if you don't have the little bug from whatever quest chain it was, and you can walk on water and shit. This is pretty handy to get run places in the VOD and whatnot. So that's a little pro tip, and there you have it. But let's get to the rotation. So the main resource that we are using is Burning Embers, and there's 3 abilities, which are Immolate, Incinerate and Conflagrate, which will give you Burning Embers. And then there's things that will use it, which are Rain of Fire, Chaos Ball and Shadow Burn. How your rotation works is you should always have Immolate on the target, and if you have enough embers, Rain of Fire as well ticking on the target. Incinerate is your filler spell that you keep spamming when you don't have anything else to use. Conflagrate, you should always clear the stacks whenever you have them, so pump that sucker on the target. Chaos Ball is your main damage skill, and every time you have 3.5 embers, you should be pumping it. And then use the normal rotation, or let's say core of your rotation skills to regain burning embers. But when you get to less than 20% health on your target, you start using Shadow Burn instead of Chaos Ball. You could think of this as like Execute of Warlocks. And then we have a skill called Havoc. Havoc causes your next Shadow Ball or 3 other single target spells also strike this target. So if you have 2 targets, you can throw this on the other one and swap to the main target, and your Chaos Ball and or 3 other single targets will hit it as well. So when you have 2 targets, this is obviously a really good skill to use. And Fire and Brimstone will enhance your Immolate, Incinerate and Conflagrate to be AoE spells. They will do about 65% damage of their normal damage, but they will hit everything inside 10 yards. So in AoE situation, Fire and Brimstone is beautiful thing. And then you have 2 main damage increase cooldowns, which are Dark Soul, increases your crit by 30% for 20 seconds, and then the second one is to summon either Doomguard or Infernal. And Doomguard is better for single target fights or situations, and the Infernal one is better for AoE. And now I will quickly demonstrate how the rotation should work. So Immolate, spam Incinerate, use the Conflagrate stacks, start putting Rain of Fire on the target, keep spamming that, rephrase Immolate, keep it up. Now that reaching 3.5 burning embers using Chaos Ball. And this is the core of your rotation. To this you just simply add the damage increase cooldowns as needed and whatnot. Simple as that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this little video helps you with your warlocking. So catch us in the next one.